Hey guys, welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. This is I'm going to call it a Let's Try now. No longer a Let's Play, but Let's Try the state of Hawaii using the US States mod and the Road to 56, as well as increased resources. I will say this, that this would probably be a little more viable if you cut off the Road to 56, largely because when you're not running that at the same time as the U.S. States mod, your overall, I've done a little bit of research on it and done some testing. Yeah, your overall manpower potential shoots up significantly, and I probably should have done that on the front end. It would have given me a little higher population. I'm hoping. I have not tested it specifically with Hawaii, so there's no way for me to know that. I'm just making a big assumption that could be terribly wrong. But we're going to fire it back up. It's 1937, and we are slowly progressing towards hopefully taking over some of these little atoll islands. We'll work ourselves. We'll take the Johnston Atoll and then the Line Islands. And I say that actually we may take the Johnston Atoll, go up to Midway, then take the Line Islands, and I think that then let's see, Phoenix Island. Oh, are they their own? Yes. The Fire Nation. Now that's a great name right there. Fire Nation. Man. Take them, and then I think Samoa will be a good target for us. And at that point, we will basically be the Pacific Island Republic. Yay. One of the most decentralized nations in the history of man. Good views, though. I can imagine. If we could win a war through tourism, I think we would have all the scenic spots. I really do. Unfortunately, we can't win a war via tourism. Alaska controls that. Okay. Now that would be a bold move. March on Alaska. Take over Alaska and use that almost as a launch pad to go into Canada. That would be bold. I'm really kind of shocked that war hasn't made it to the Continental 48. That is very intriguing. It is early. Okay, so we now have the Chinese Republics, Chinese Soviet Republic, and someone else. They signed a white peace. I didn't even know they were at war. Guess I need to pay a little better attention. And we are slugging along. Doesn't look like we're going to get any tech upgrades in the near term. We still got some time on that, but we will get this in 28 days, which will greatly help us. And how are we coming along with that? Oh, that's right, April 25th. So I guess what we can do is sit back and relax. I'm afraid that even if we do build a ship, that we're not going to have enough men to put bodies on it. I mean, that's just, oh gosh, that's crazy. That is just swell. So we could take over the lake. What are you? Oh, Japan owns you? Oh, great. We could get Guam, though. Guam could be a nice little pickup. Although I think if we go too far east, so to speak, and I go, no, that's not it. Good Lord. I'm tired. If we go too far west, I'm afraid we may become a target for Japan, which they could pretty much just wipe us off the face of the earth if they wanted to. I still think our best bet is to take these kind of 5 surrounding island nations and then use Samoa as a launch point against New Zealand. I think if we could get a hold of New Zealand, it would not only probably increase our overall land size by 10%, it could give us a more substantial recruitable population, and it could make, I think it could make it easier to declare war on Australia. Although I think if you declare war on Australia, we're still in trouble there because they're going to be allied with Great Britain. Oof. So the better question is, do you look east and go to some place like Ecuador and then begin to gain a foothold there? I mean, you could do that. You could go to Costa Rica, who, when I first got the game, I was messing around with some of the more minor powers just to kind of get a feel for how they compared, and realized real quick that Costa Rica does, they don't even start with a standing army, so yeah, that could be an option. So naval effort. We are going to pick up naval effort because we have got to build some ships, and in the meantime we will allocate more military factories towards stuff that we can't even use. Great. But we'll throw one there, and we'll throw one there. We'll at least have a surplus of guns. We can arm every citizen. That'll be great. I hate there's not an immigration. Well, there may be the state's mandate. No. Foreign relations. We don't want sphere of influence. No. Exchange of ideas. International trade. Yeah. If we had an immigration button, that would be very, 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 very nice. But we don't. So the Buckeye Imperium declared war on the Kentucky Empire. So Kentucky and Ohio gonna go to war. It's a great name. That is a great name. And I believe we now have a... Do we have... That not done yet? How did that get shifted over? Huh. Well. Great. Great, great, great. And Missouri is going to go after Kentucky too. Oh man. Poor Kentucky. Meanwhile, we're just chilling in the Pacific Ocean, doing what we do. Waiting around. Oh man. And it looks like Indiana wants to join the fight too. Good for the old Hoosiers. You know, the only thing that would be cooler is if Indiana was led by like Bobby Knight, just throwing chairs across state lines. Is it led by Bobby Knight? John Taylor. Not quite Bobby Knight, but I bet he'd throw a chair or two. That kind of, yeah, he definitely has the face of someone who's probably like, give me all your chairs, I'm going to throw them. And it looks like Kentucky is just not doing too hot right now. So it does appear, we're going to slow this down since we have researched a ton of stuff, that Somehow Kentucky lived. It's like Ohio got a chunk of them, and Missouri got a chunk, and it looks like maybe Indiana got the hose. Actually, I say that. I don't... yeah, they didn't get anything. That's tough. Poor Indiana. So it is now 1937, and oh gosh, that's just terrible. Everything about this, terrible, terrible, terrible. Okay, well, we need to figure out what we're going to research. I guess we will escort carrier. What are our, well, let's see, we base strike. God, why did we do that? I'll never understand that. We'll pick up Fighter 1. And we will pick up, do we have a maritime patrol? That actually may be worth it. I say that, who knows? I'm still relatively new to the game. It says we can modify the government. I really don't want to touch the government quite yet, but considering I'm going to have to pump out some ships in the meantime, I think we are. Yeah, I think this makes sense. Let's go ahead and pick up Jonas Taylor. Get us some more political power. We're going to need that if we're going to go to war. If we ever go to war. And it looks like Ohio is going to go in and finish off Kentucky. Poor Kentucky. Ohio making the big gains. If they can do that, I think that they will become a force to be reckoned with unless someone like Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Indiana, and Michigan decide that they're done with that and then take them over. But that's generally what I've seen out of the 50 states mods. It tees up when you have one or two states that basically get a massive amount of territory gain, and then they're able to pretty much bully around. And there we go. Okay, almost like clockwork. I don't have a crystal ball, but it looks like Pennsylvania is going to try to capitalize on potentially a overreached and outstretched Ohio. Meanwhile, in the South Pacific, we are still doing our thing, and I'm still being a knucklehead running this game at 2 times. At some point, I will learn my lesson. But that day is not today. So the Empire of New England declared war on Connecticut. So instead of New York, it was actually Massachusetts, which becomes the Empire of New England. Some of these states get some pretty cool names. Unfortunately, we're just the Hawaiian Empire. We have restored ourselves back to our former glory, if you even want to say. I mean, Hawaii's a great state, but it just, God, it's one of the most handicapped starts I have ever experienced in my entire life. But that's what makes it fun, even though this feels like it's taking forever and a day, and we should be completing. Okay, Marco Polo Bridge incident. That's fantastic. 10th of May. Wait, they just quit working? Okay, so New Jersey now is going to go to war with Pennsylvania. Bold. Naval effort. That's fantastic. Okay, that is just beautiful. And the Hindenburg blew up. So sad. We'll go with passive changes. And, okay, Kentucky's gone. And we can now do this. We're going to need, I guess we'll start pumping out destroyers. And as you can see, We will build our first destroyer about the time 1956 is over. This may not even be viable, at least with the mods that I'm running now. I think that if you were to cut off the road to 56 and just run the U.S. States mod and increase resources, this would be much more viable. But right now, there's no way there's just no way. Like, that's insane. I don't even think we can declare war. Maybe synthetic wool is the way to go. Maybe we need to pick that up. I may have just screwed the pooch on this. Maybe, just maybe. Yeah, that's what I was fearful of. That's what we want to do. We want to send both those guys over there. Unfortunately, we're going to have to get a ship that will allow us to escort this naval invasion. And we can't really do that until... Yeah, because it says here, activate this. Oh gosh. So New York got involved. Yeah. If I make this like the... Wow. Okay, so if we do that, we will... And I think that's what we're going to have to do. 2.6 a year. Okay, so that is a little more bearable. It basically shuts down my production on everything else. Which hopefully this may mean that we're going to just nix that. Yes. Get rid of that. Okay. And can we build a steel mill? We can. Okay. So this may be... Well, we may not be too severely handicapped. We may, just may, be able to do some decent things once we get everything up to speed. It just may take some time. That's what I'm going to have to remind myself. It is going to take some time. To the tune of October. So, in the effort of speeding things along, as I completely did a terrible job managing this, we're going to speed it up just a hair. Try to get to October as fast as we can in the event that hopefully we can take out the Johnston Atoll and maybe feel a little bit better about ourselves. So Miss Earhart has disappeared, and it looks like there has been a treaty. Stuff happening on the mainland. Let's go see what's happened here. So it looks like Ohio has creeped in. Wow. Okay. So Tennessee got a piece of Kentucky. Ohio got a piece of Pennsylvania. New York has done what New York always does, and they'll eventually conquer most of this. And New Jersey is now much bigger than it was ever intended to be. That's great. And we have passive change, so we will continue to go down the nationalism focus. That's kind of the goal. And it says I can modify my government, which is a good thing. Let's see. Amphibian assault. Yes. That is wonderful. October cannot get here fast enough. But it'll be here shortly. And then we run into the same problem that I think we're going to run into is, do we even have enough men to put on the ships? Now this will be real interesting. And if we do, we do. So be it. And it looks like, oh man, Massachusetts. I kind of want to hover over there. Did y'all do something special? Yeah, you did. Oh, look at you. Kind of looks like a bird in flight. There's the beak, there's the body, the wings. That's pretty cool. It's okay though, because old Bernie's doing well. So even though we'll hit a penalty, let's just go ahead and pick this up. God knows we need to have beefy enough troops, because we're not going to have a lot of them. And I'll be really curious to see what happens if we are able to take over some of these little atoll island nations, if that does any, great benefit to us. And so it looks like in the Spanish Civil War, nationalist Spain has once again emerged victorious. Yay! I wonder if we can be buddy-buddy with Franco. That kind of makes sense. He's a fascist. We're a fascist. Let's just improve relations with this cat. Income vacation. Why not, right? A lot more cool stuff happened there, but it is the middle of September, so we are getting very close. Very close to October. When is this thing going to be done? Let's see. When is it done? When is it done? When is it done? Oh, nationalism. We will October 17th. A little less than a month. And I think militarism will definitely help us out. God, man, things are heating up in the United States. Just not so much in the Pacific, because there's not a whole lot that's going on. Right, more tech. I don't even know. I mean, like, shoot, at the rate we're going, why not? Not sure that this is even even super viable. Once we get this ship built, which should be done relatively quickly. Are you done? Did you finish it? Did I miss something? Cannot deploy insufficient manpower. Oh, good lord. Well, let's just jack the speed right back up. I was afraid that was going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and say that if you are going to try to do Hawaii, cut off the road to 56. It is so debilitating to your manpower. You're just going to beat your head against a wall. I mean, if you've watched the first episode and you made it this far into this one, the truth of the matter is, it's just not viable. Now, I'm sure that there's some, that the world's greatest Hearts of Iron player probably could make this viable, but I can't. I am almost ready to call this, but we're gonna wait it out long enough to see us get militarism, which will give us a boost in our recruitable population by a whopping 1%. I mean, like, heck. And I'm gonna have to take war economy, not war economy. One of the. I think, if you are running this, I think long term you could really do some damage. But I just think that based on what I've seen so far, when you're running the road to 56 with the U.S. States mod, it's just going to be very difficult. So if you're going to attempt to do something like this just to have some fun, do your research beforehand, because I didn't. And I am in the position that I am because of it. Oh, come on. Come on. So close. So stinking close. I'm so ready to declare war on these guys. It's not even funny. I wonder if our time. I wonder if we wanted to conquer these guys. Oh, well, that's virtually cheap. Okay, well, that's great. Guess we can reform our government a little bit. We'll slow this down. We will slow it down just a hair. And the naval dockyard came on track. That's great. Why not? Let's just take extensive conscription. That'll at least pump that out there. And boom. We were able to deploy it. So we're going to take this guy. And we're going to tell him, hey, you're on convoy to escort duty. And you're going here and here. Perfect. So they're going to escort our convoy. And maybe, just maybe, we can enact. Oh, we can. This is beautiful. So we're going to enact this. We're going to even see if we can take this. This is lovely. Did I declare war on them? I don't think I did. I probably need to do that first. This is nearly a disaster. If it doesn't turn out to be a disaster already. Alright, let's go ahead and say, hey, we're going to declare war on you. Yay! So we are now sailing, and this should be a smashing victory for us. Oh, and the Axis have fully formed, Italy and Germany. We may, I may play this out a little longer and see what this looks like. I don't think we're going to get the necessary manpower that we need, but so be it. Oh well. And we are going after the Johnson Atoll. And apparently the boat driver is a big fan of turns. And it looks like we have won. Oh my goodness, we did it. It was so difficult. So difficult. We're going to take all states. End our turn here and click done. And man, what do you know? Okay, so let's slow this down a little bit. We got a free dockyard. Oh, heaven forbid. I don't want to do that. We need to just cut that down to right there. So now that we have that, what do you come with? One population. Oh, dear Lord, have mercy. That's a raw deal. Alright, well, we're about out of time for this episode. If you enjoyed seeing this blunder, like, subscribe, leave me some comments. Let me know if there's anything that you'd like to see me do differently or see any unique scenarios in the future. I will gladly make those videos. Check. And if you do subscribe, you'll be able to check regularly. I hope to be able to put out some content for y'all. But y'all have a good night. I enjoyed it, and I will talk to you and see you very soon.